Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Ambassador Bootcamp, Broader Beauty Edition. So excited to have you here. I'm Julia from Booksy, and I am joined by the amazing Tasneem, Sarlie, as well as Lonna Janee and Nicole Richardson. Thank you all for being here. And Taz, I'm going to hand things off to you to get things introduced. And as we get started here, everyone, I'm dropping a message in the chat right now. It says, welcome to today's webinar. You can post your questions for Taz, Alana, and Nicole here. So if you have questions as we go, Taz and I have a ton of them, of course. If you have questions as we go, you can post them there. And now, Taz, I'm going to hand it on over to you. Take it away.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Julia. Hi, everybody. I'm Taz, the Ambassador Community Manager here at Booksy. As Julia mentioned, today we are here for our second annual Booksy Ambassador Bootcamp. And this is the second one for the year. This time around, we are focusing on broader beauty. We had such amazing responses from everybody for our first segment in Q1 that we ran. And we are back again. Applications are open. Applications are coming in hot, and we want to make sure that we do get the right people in for the rest of the year. So here we are again with amazing Lonna Janee and Nicole Richardson to help guide us in terms of what we're looking for, who we're looking for, what it's like to be an ambassador. So I do want to turn it over to you guys to introduce yourselves, tell us who you are, how long you've been in the industry, and just, a little bit about yourself. So Nicole, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you for having me, Taz and Julia. Well, everyone, I am Nicole Richardson. I am a salon owner based in Naperville, Illinois, also Booksy Ambassador, a wedding makeup artist and lash extension stylist, and also esthetician. I've been in this industry for about 11 years now. I've been with Booksy for about 2.5 years now. I love being an ambassador. It really helps me to run my business at my fingertips.
Alona, over to you.
I like that. She said everything, what I need to say. I'm Lonna Janee, Lonna Nailed It. I'm a nail artist. I am a Valentino educator, and I have been an ambassador for a few months, but I've been with Booksy for, I don't know, I can't even tell you how long. I've been doing nails for about 7 years. I'm not sure if we count the pandemic year or not. A little bit so weird. I'm just gonna say 7 because I don't like math. And I love Booksy because it gives me everything that I need. There aren't a lot of platforms that cater to nail artists at all, and this is definitely this is it for me. This is it.
Oh man. You know what you said, just about, being with Booksy for so long and you are just recently an ambassador. If anybody on this call with us today is a provider and you've been with us for a long time, it's not that we don't see you. We have so many providers on Booksy, and the only way that we can recognize you or see you is obviously if you are tagging us. And if you, the squeakiest wheel, the squeakiest wheel makes the most noise. So if you are, putting it out there, tagging us, trying to get our attention, this session today is for you. And if you aren't a Booksy provider just yet, that does not mean you cannot become one of our ambassadors. We're always looking to make sure that we have the right people supporting our brand as well. So thank you, Alona, and thank you, Nicole, for joining us today. I know we are in for a fantastic session ahead of us, and I'm so excited that we have both of you here. My first question, and for both of you, obviously, both of you are very established, have your own brands, and you guys are brand ambassadors for other products and other brands. And Nicole, I know you just recently launched your own line of lashes as well. So yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Alona, I'll start with you. Since you mentioned you are brand ambassador for Valentino, how does, what does it mean to you to be a brand ambassador? And B, what is the difference between a brand ambassador and what we do here at Booksy, if there is any difference compared to brands that you've worked with before?
I'd say for me, it means being an ambassador means obviously being a positive, influence for, the brand. And I personally cherish it, and I feel it's an honor for me for both things, rather, because I have an experience. I've been using Booksy for I want to say almost the entire time I've been a nail artist. I also want to say I used it when I did hair for a little bit. I am a licensed cosmetologist, and I get to represent something that I know helps me in my field, something that I have a passion for. And as an ambassador, I also get to share that with other people in my field. As I said before, as a nail artist, I feel like we're kind of been like the little guy for a little bit in the beauty industry, and we're just starting to get more recognition. And for Booksy to offer that platform where we can do like things like add-ons and have like different levels of services and categories, like that's amazing. So I would like to share that with other people. And also, like, I can also share how I've tried other things and I always end up back here. I've always ended up back with Booksy. I've tried other like booking platforms and none of them have catered to me the way that this brand does, that Booksy does. And I also feel like heard and seen. And that is something that I feel like Booksy as a brand ambassador, like that platform, everything like that. Yeah, that's it for me. That's why I said I'm not going anywhere.
I love that. I did not know that you were a hairstylist, so I learned something new today as well.
Yeah.
And Nicole, like I mentioned, with your own line as well and being a brand ambassador for Booksy, I know there's lots of promotion on both on your end, and I've seen that on your social media. What sort of, the differences and what does it mean to be a brand ambassador for yourself and then also, a brand ambassador for your own brand as well?
So what it means for me to be a brand ambassador, Taz, is to be able to really connect with the product first off and see how I connect with it. And just being able to use it every day as far as my own line, being able to talk about it and share it with almost anyone, And then with Booksy, I really love Booksy because like this is where my emotions happen with Booksy, is because I can really feel comfortable sharing it to my clients, sharing it to people that I mentor, sharing it with my peers. And then also my partners who I'm in business with. And I literally use the products every day. So it's a great representation of the woman that I want to be in business. And I really love just adding on to what Alana said. She made a lot of great points. So just adding on to what she said, like I feel more confident going into business and running my business because I literally have all of the tools, all of the add-on services that you can add, the expansion part of it. So it has really been a great tool for me. And as an ambassador, it's something that I really feel strong in and I believe in. And there's no problem with me representing a product that I love.
Absolutely. Wow, I love that. And here's the thing, people obviously they associate brand ambassadors just with content. there's so much more to creating content when it comes to being a brand ambassador because it's both online and offline and being able to talk about a brand. So for us as well, and I'm sure, you guys have heard me have conversations with you guys and heard me say this multiple times, is like, it's the authenticity of your message and sort of how you're able to explain the benefits of using a certain brand or using Booksy that will really, set apart the difference between somebody who really believes in the brand is able to kind of talk about it very organically and authentically, because your audience knows you, your audience relates to you, and they're able to kind of see through all of that. So that's sort of, one of the things that we really place a lot of importance on is the people who represent us are actually using the product. They understand the product and they see the benefit in using the product. So Nicole, you explained it so well, that you're able to talk on that. And, also the women, the influence in your lives and the people that you touch on a daily basis are able to see that benefit through using the platform yourself. So that's pretty amazing. While we're talking content, what are some of the things to consider? And in a second, I will pull up a slide, but what are some of the things to consider when creating content for a brand? Because that's probably one of the most difficult things Yes, everybody wants to be a brand ambassador. Everybody wants to be an influencer, but content is probably one of the most difficult things to get into if you don't naturally have a tact for it. So I'll pass it over to you, either Lonna or Nicole, whoever is ready to answer first.
I will say learning who your target audience is. That's very helpful. And also what helps me personally, what motivates me to even create content is understanding my why. Why am I creating this content?
I get that. I agree. Especially with like your target audience, figuring out like whatever it is your niche may be, filtering in whatever it is you want to add to it. So like so you don't miss the mark, basically. Like I still want you to see these wonderful nails and to see like the relationship I may have with my client or how things go. But like, if, for instance, if I were doing like a Booksy reel, but Booksy is where it starts, like my client will see the link in my bio, download the app, and can literally book an appointment and still contact me if they need to. But just basically figuring out how to convey that message and what it is I'm putting out there. The content.
Yeah, absolutely. I am going to share a presentation really quickly. We are going to go through some information. Guys, Julia, if there are questions in the chat, please feel free to stop us at any time. If there are any questions for Lonna or Nicole, if it is a good moment, please do throw it at us. And I will start sharing my screen. All right, let's get into it. Okay, for everybody who is joining us right now, we are going to go through some information in terms of our ambassador program, what it means, what the benefits are, who we're looking for, and sort of how you can get our attention. So without further ado, going back to our first question about what is an ambassador, you guys heard from Lonna and Nicole as well, what it means to them, what it means to be an ambassador, as well as what it means to be a Booksy ambassador, and sort of what the differences are. On our side, before I switch over to the next slide and explain what an ambassador is, one of the biggest things at Booksy is we do not just consider ambassadors as standalone or solo entrepreneurs. We look at them as a community where we do bring them together to make sure that we are supporting each other in this little journey on our successions with Booksy. Is the platform that will support you, and you are supporting your industry as well. So that's one of the biggest things that we build any program around here at Booksy, and especially our ambassador program, making sure that you guys feel like you are part of a team, that you are part of a community, and we are striving together towards something bigger. So by definition, what an ambassador is, a brand ambassador is somebody who promotes a brand, of course, and their products to their network with the objective of increasing brand awareness and helping drive reach. So that's the dictionary definition. Booksy's definition, like I mentioned, community is the heart and soul of everything we do. I'm sure if any of you on the call, as well as Lonna and Nicole, have gotten to meet any of the team members, you guys will see it's a close-knit family here. Our internal teams, everybody has everybody's back, as well as with our ambassadors. The more you engage, everybody, again, Lonna, you were on our most recent nail conference where it was just a bunch of ambassadors coming together, teaching nail techniques, nail tips, how to grow your business, and everybody together, just learning from each other. It's so, so powerful. And Nicole as well, any projects that we've worked on, ambassadors just come together and flock together. Is this each one teach one sort of headspace that everybody's in, that makes such a big difference in terms of who we are. And so, so proud of the people that we have on our team as ambassadors. So when it comes to ambassadors, we use a combination of online and offline promotion. So when it comes to online, that is using your social media platforms to get brand awareness out there, talking about the product authentically and organically, letting them know what the benefits are of Booksy. And then when we think about offline, we're thinking about word of mouth. We are thinking about, if anybody stops you in the street and asks you a question about Booksy, are you able to answer authentically and organically? And then also offline, we do go to tons of trade shows. We have a lot of in-person events as well, where you are able to meet people, to network, and sort of these are where these conversations spark up. So those are offline. And a couple of tactics to market our brand on a personal and direct level. So that goes back to what I was saying, just being relatable to your audience and educating your audience from a very direct and relatable standpoint. For example, they face the exact same or similar entrepreneurial struggles that you have. Where you are in your life right now, there are people who are watching you trying to strive to the exact same thing, to that success. So they're watching your every move and the tools that you use that have aided you in your successes. And they're looking for answers and guidance, and probably it won't take them as long because you're putting your story out there as to how you did it and how you got to where you needed to be and what tools and what products. And any brands that you affiliate yourself with. And again, once again, is just about being authentic about who you associate yourself with, what brands, what products as well, and allowing people to latch onto that and learn from you. Because the minute somebody learns something from you, they do tend to latch onto you as well. And you guys have seen that with products, with brands, with anything that you own, and possibly Nicole now, that you are a reputable influencer and makeup artist yourself. With your lash line, you fortunately, hopefully, see those successes transpire into a larger product line for yourself as well.
Thank you, Tess.
Of course. And then lastly, it's bringing an experience. I mean, it is everything we do here as well is very experiential. It is just not a one-off sort of conversation. It's making sure that you guys are supported, that there's an entire team behind any conversation. For example, right now, once we do get off this webinar, you'll have the webinar to reference, you'll have links, you are able to get in touch with our support team, you'll be able to DM us, make sure that you are able to get all your questions answered. So it's making sure that this entire journey of yours is an experience that you're always able to reference and feel comfortable and confident going into the next phase of your lives, having an entire team to support you. So that's what we're about here, and that's exactly what it means to have an ambassador on board, and that's what it means to us. Okay, and much like any relationship, professional relationship or personal relationship, it has to be mutually beneficial. So I'm not here to sell you guys that, this is just beneficial for you, because yes, we do need something out of you too. What we do, how we usually assess or like what the definition of this ambassador partnership is what we need from our ambassadors is we use their social platforms for extended reach to places that we wouldn't be able to get to on our own, right? So using your social influence, your audience. And the benefits for us are increased marketing outreach. So like I said, beyond the audiences and people that we'll be able to reach on our own or with our own marketing efforts. You are able to engage with your audience, your fans and supporters on that direct and relatable level. Like I mentioned earlier, you guys know your audience, you know what they take to, you know how to speak to them and how to kind of get that message out there, as opposed to, for example, no two content pieces are alike. I might put out a piece of content that my audience can relate to and latch onto, and Julia's audience may not relate to the exact same piece of audience. So it is very, very different. Seeding virality. Sort of in marketing, one thing that I've learned in marketing is that you kind of have to say something 100 times before somebody actually gets the message, right? So also, like what we do, because we have quite a few ambassadors on board, we make sure everybody is consistent in their messaging, making sure that everybody understands, like, are we talking about our features that are beneficial? Are we talking about no-show protection? Just making sure that everything is coinciding, that our message is cohesive, and that we are putting a consistent message out there to spread seeding virality. Because the more people hear about it the same way, the further it can spread. And then once again, creating an experience. But what's in it for you? That's what we're here to talk about today. So it's the recognition and publicity. So not only do you get attached to the Booksy name, but like I was mentioning earlier, we are at multiple trade shows for the year. We do have opportunities for you guys to be at those trade shows. We have digital magazines that we are also partnered with. So you will have an opportunity to be featured in those magazines. There are trade publications, billboards. I'm sure if any of you have been to ABS, you saw a couple of our ambassadors plastered on those banners at ABS. So there's definitely opportunities for recognition and publicity. You do get your free Booksy subscription for the entire time that you are a Booksy ambassador and an amplified referral bonus. You do get exclusive Booksy merch. Every single quarter, it is customized merch that will be sent directly to you 4 times a year. And then events, collaborations, and opportunities. When we talk about collaborations, it could be content collaborations. We could have high production shoots that we would ask our brand ambassadors to schedule time for us for. We'll come out to your shop, we'll shoot, or opportunities, for example, both in-person and virtual webinars, much like this one, and a few educational webinars as well. Okay, and then my last slide before we go back into questions, because there's a few questions that kind of sparked as we were going through. But before we head over back to questions, I did want to talk through our program structure while I have your attention about the benefits of being a Booksy ambassador. We have 4 tiers at Booksy, where we have our creators. So our creators have mass appeal, celebrity status in the industry, and they act as creative consultants for Booksy. Now, to give you a little more in-depth information, when it comes to creators, we are looking at 500,000 followers plus. So those are our big guys who've kind of already, created good stature for themselves in the industry. And for them, sort of what the benefits are event sponsorships and participation. And also what we do require from our creators is a minimum of 5 social posts a month. We have our experts who are content creators and experts in their fields, much like the guys that we have joining us today, Lonna and Nicole. They are community leaders and mentors, and that's exactly who Lonna and Nicole are. They are leaders and mentors, and they're always looking to give back and to teach. Like I said, that each one teach one mentality is very, very evident in Lonna and Nicole, and that's exactly why we wanted to get them on today. From our experts, we do, as our benefit, we do get 2 posts a month, minimum 2 posts a month, but obviously it is not limited to that, as we do have projects running continuously, making sure that we include them in our newsletters, in our videos, and everything like that, where they are able to create content as they are experts in their field. We have our influencers who are at about 10,000 followers, and they are partners and active Booksy users who foster relationships through leadership and authenticity. So they're actively using Booksy accounts, they are taking clients, they are able to influence their audience as to why they should be using Booksy as opposed to any other software scheduling system or pen and paper. I hope nobody's still using pen and paper. But so they're the guys who are able to lead with the authentic use of the app. And then we have our regional and local heroes. So they may have 5,000 followers or less. And these local and regional heroes partner with our sales teams, and they work with us as affiliates. They have great or strong local network presence, and they are able to introduce us to people who do need our help and who do need Booksy support. I will say this, and I say this every time I have a discussion about the Booksy Ambassador Program, is that as much as we do put tiers and guardrails in terms of our regional and local heroes, we do look for more than your audience following. And one statement that I like to use is that somebody with 1,000 followers are the same people who are able to bring 1,000 people to an event. So there's so much more than just your audience size that we take into consideration. So yes, for us, our program structure is guardrails for us to assess very easily. However, this call, especially this call today, is here to explain to you that that's not the only criteria. We're looking for much more. And we will get into that in a couple of slides as to who we're looking for and what we kind of keep an eye out for. But I will stop presenting and kind of go back to questions, because I do have a couple of questions to go through. So give me a second while I stop presenting.
Perfect. And while you pull that slide down, We've had a couple great questions from Carrie. Carrie is killing it. Anybody else in here with questions? Carrie is leading the crowd, so feel free to join her in that. Carrie, a few of these we'll be answering later, but just a couple things that you mentioned I want to touch on. Asking about, is an ambassador from the Booksy perspective the same thing as an educator? That is a very intelligent question. You probably got a sense of the answer so far from things, but our Booksy ambassadors are not all required to, say, be licensed educators who are teaching at beauty colleges or things like that. We absolutely do have followers or ambassadors in a variety of things. So some of them are leading our webinar education, and that's really their focus. And then others, just as Taz and Nicole and Alona have mentioned, are really bringing us their experience in content creation or their experience in salon or shop management and their abilities to communicate with their followers that way. So I hope that helps. And then Taz, I'm going to toss this over to you because we had a question about, is anybody in South Florida with Booksy Corporate? And I wanted you to be able to answer that.
Who was that question from, Julia?
That question was from Carrie as well.
Hi, Carrie. We actually have an entire team down here in Florida. So we have a couple of guys in Orlando, we have Tampa, we have Miami, Fort Lauderdale. If you are looking for anybody this side, let me tell you, there's quite a team behind us over here. So if you ever need, please do reach out to us. And as well, just not our internal teams as well. We have quite a few ambassadors in our South Florida area. So please follow our Booksy Florida page. That's where you'll be able to see the team and see our ambassadors as well. So that's a good place to start to get to know who's in Florida.
Perfect. And then one more question I want to highlight right now. What platforms are they for these followers? Is it just Instagram that you're interested in? Is it Instagram and Facebook? How about other platforms with smaller community but higher engagement? And just so you know, we'll be getting into some of our main Booksy platforms in just a minute. But Taz, if you'd like to speak a bit to our other platforms, and I thought this might be an opportunity for Lonna and Nicole as well to just speak to, and this is just for each of you, for you personally. Do you have a particular platform that you love the most, or are you really making sure that you're spreading out your content? So let's start with Taz on the subject of what platforms you're most interested in right now, and then we'll swing to Lonna and Nicole quickly before we move on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Julia. So I would say, yes, Instagram does tend to get a little bit more attention compared to any other platform. However, we aren't fixated just on Instagram and Facebook. Obviously TikTok has had a huge uptake. So we do have quite a bit of focus on TikTok as well. I do know we're active on Twitter. So wherever you are, please do tag us so we are able to see that. We don't limit ourselves to one social media platform. We want to be, yes, where the buzz is, but we also want to be relevant and exposed wherever we can. So whatever social media handles you have, please do tag us on any content that you bring out there so we are able to see that.
Okay. So my audience is mostly on Instagram and Facebook, but I am really loving the TikTok update. Ever since I had my little teenage cousin show me how to use the app. It's just like a way where I can just be creative and express myself in the content I don't take too serious. And because I don't take it too serious, I can literally create something that can last forever. And that has a lasting impression on my other followers from the other platforms.
Okay, I almost forgot to unmute myself. I am mostly on Instagram. I pretty much got that down as far as like the algorithm and everything works, but I am currently working on getting like my followers and engagement up on TikTok. Like Nicole said, it's really fun. I like the different like skits and things that people have on there. You can kind of take those and adapt them to whatever it is your like niche or target audience maybe. So I like to try to relate things to like nails if I can, but yeah, that's where I'm at.
I love that. TikTok is hard, yo.
It is hard. It is very hard.
All the fact that you had to have your little cousin help you out and show you TikTok. Yeah. Pretty much. So while we're on the topic about social media, Julia, are you okay if I bring up the presentation again and kind of kick it over to you?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. So this is sort of my area of expertise. I am our social campaign and webinar manager here at Booksy, specifically for Booksy US, just to clarify. And so we're just going to talk for a few minutes about social media, blogs, and virtual education. So as a special Did You Know, I'm just going to throw out, did you know you can find links to all of our social media, as well as our blogs, as well as upcoming virtual education opportunities, and even some of the future trade shows we're going to be at in the links in our bio that you can access on our TikTok, our Instagram, our Facebook, and our Twitter pages. So if you didn't know, now you know. And Taz, if you take us to the next slide, please, when you're ready. Thank you. Okay, so just a little bit of information. So this sort of goes into that subject that Carrie had asked about educators and whether being an ambassador here at Booksy is the same thing as being an educator. It isn't necessarily. We partner with our ambassadors in a lot of different ways in the virtual world, including social media. As you can see on the left, we connect with our US communities on Instagram, an example of which you can see in the leftmost image, as well as TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Those are our primary content places. And hi, Michelle. Sorry, just throwing this in there, everyone. Hello, I see Michelle from Brazil. Welcome, Michelle. Booksy looking for partners outside of the US? Absolutely, we are. I will get your contact information and I will send it over to another Julia, actually Julia at Booksy on our Booksy Brazil team. I'll get you connected with her. So then in this middle section, you can see content from our Booksie blogs. And this is very cool. Booksy actually has 2 blogs. We have a set of blogs that's for our provider community, and you can see that example there in the middle image. That has a focus on education. So resources on passwords, information on add-ons and why that would be beneficial to you, as Alona mentioned earlier. Things about taking steps to become a mentor. Things about cross-selling, especially during COVID-19 and what that looks like now versus what it looked like 4 years ago, because it's not the same. We all know that. And then we also have our Booksy for Customers app, our Booksy for Customers app, obviously, but we have our Booksy for Customers blog, which our Booksy end users receive. So the people that are downloading the Booksy for Customers app and going and getting a phenomenal nail appointment with Alona, or if they are going to see Nicole and getting their eyes freshened up so that they match their hair, they might go to the Booksy for Customers app, and then they are going to see other content such as what type of hairstyle might match your face shape, fun gift ideas for Mother's Day, that sort of a thing. And you can find the links to both of those blogs in the link in our bio as well. And then the final thing, one of my great loves, as everyone who's joined me in a previous webinar would know, is our webinar content. Booksy education webinars are free for anyone in the broader community to join. And as we saw from Michelle commenting to us, you can join them even if you're not in the US at the moment. Any time zone, any location, you can come and join one of our webinars. And they are led by our ambassador community as well. We are very lucky to be able to connect with some of our top ambassadors. So if you were here on April 18, you got to do a vivid color webinar with Kimberly Tay Hare, who's out in California, moderated by me in Chicago, attended by you in Brazil or in Florida or in Connecticut or wherever you happen to be. So we're so passionate about that and really being able to provide this education that truly lifts up everyone in the beauty sphere. And on that note, I am going to drop everyone a link right now for our next webinar. Our next Booksy webinar is coming up on May 23. And this webinar is called Show Your Work Instagram Reels. So you can actually see the image for that webinar on the top left. That is a phenomenal photo by Brian Senatore, one of our Booksy ambassadors. This webinar is being led by a barber ambassador, but it's open for everyone in the beauty community because Brian's focus isn't just on, I'm a barber and I want to make reels. Brian is actually up for Positive Influencer of the Year in an upcoming competition. It's really amazing. And so he's going to take you through his content and really explain the analytics of it. He's going to go into the copy that he uses, the hashtags that he uses, when he posts, what has something be positive and strong for him. So that's our real goal here, is to provide more and more webinar content that can be led by a barber, but attended by a nail artist, and led by a makeup artist, but useful for a massage therapist. That's really the goal that we have with our webinar education. And we're even working on making it possible, starting in Chicago, and then we'll broaden out to more of the US as well, to have CE offerings on some of our upcoming webinars. So we're really committed that our webinar education provides ongoing value for everyone in the beauty community. And if you're hearing everything in this and going, oh, I want to be involved in getting Booksy's TikTok like flying. Oh, I want to be getting involved in blogs and providing really amazing ebook content. Oh, I want to be getting involved in webinars and really connecting with education, like people like Carrie in our chat. Then that's the perfect thing to add on the form that we will show you at the very end of this webinar, where you can tell us a little bit about yourself and why you would like to be connected with the Booksy Ambassador Program. So that's the long and short of it from my perspective. I hope that this has been helpful on the social reference. And now let's go back to some questions. So if we can bring back up Lonna and Nicole, I have a question for the both of you. We talked about this a little bit. I'm excited to hear your answers. So obviously, as everyone's just saw from all those different things, there's a lot of different content that ambassadors, especially Booksy ambassadors, are responsible for. So we're curious to know, what would you say is your least favorite, your most dreaded, the thing that puts those butterflies in your stomach of the type of ambassador work that you do? And how do you just kick butt and take charge and be successful in the face of that feeling? So who'd like to go first on this? We're going to hear from both of you.
I will go first. Well, the thing that I had dreaded the most was to even create content, honestly, being a makeup artist and a business owner. And it's really hard to grasp the attention of others and for people to even know what you do if they aren't aware of you. So that was a fear that I really had to get over. It took, some time to build my confidence and self-esteem up as a influencer and even a business owner and a strong makeup artist. And so once I did that and I understood more of who my target audience was or is, and understood more of my why and what's, like, for example, my why is like, I love to pour into other women. I love for women to really see their outer beauty confidence. And we have some really great conversations during all of our appointments. So I create a safe space for all of my clients. And I needed to translate that to my content. Once I started to do that and become more of my authentic self, it became easier to post content and to just have fun. And as I made that decision, now I've hit the ground running doing it. And also, I love how, Taz and Julia mentioned that Booksy is a community. Like, even before this call, a few days ago, I messaged Brian, Big Yam's hair, on Instagram. And I was just, because he commented on my reel. And I just wanted to share with him, just him continuing to post his content inspires me. And he actually told me how to post content. And he's all the way in New Jersey. And so I just love that, having that, being a part of the Booksy community, because literally it's helped build my confidence. And even speaking to all of you today, answering the questions, and being a content creator now.
I love it. I love it. So your least favorite part is now your favorite part. Content.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I like that. You turn the negative into positive. I like that. I like that. I'm a fan. I'll piggyback off to being your authentic self. I struggle with that too, because I am super goofy all the time. So I think that's also why I really like the TikTok parts of it. We talked about earlier, and taking like certain skits or certain sounds, so that I can kind of put more of myself out there. And I love that my audience loves that too, because, you have to still maintain like a certain level of professional, when you do these things too. So got to kind of meet everything in the middle. But one thing that I absolutely dread doing is taking like 30 minutes to an hour worth of content to make it a 30-second or 1 minute reel. I dislike it. I won't use the word hate because it's a strong word, but I definitely I need a glass wine or something afterwards for a while I'm doing it, because the way it stresses me out, and then you still have to figure out like what parts are going to basically keep your audience there. I've learned that like you have 5 seconds, the first 5 seconds of your reel matter. Otherwise, we're just gonna just scroll. So I always have to figure out what I need to have in the beginning, but still struggle with the rest of chopping the rest of this 30 minutes down to fit into like a minute or less. I don't like it. I do it. Don't ask me how. I think the glass of wine I meant to help, but it gets done.
Oh my goodness. That was so funny. So relatable. I love that, Alona. Well, while we're on topic about reels, Julia, how about we plug in what we have in store in about 2 weeks?
Brilliant. So we have some actually great examples of some real video content. And if you watch these and you're going, oh, that's brilliant, I love that, I want to learn more about it, I'm going to drop that link one more time, because on May 23, on a Monday again at 1 p.m. again, we have our next Booksy webinar, which is Show Your Work, Instagram Reels. And then if you're curious about other upcoming webinars, on June 6th, we will have How to Win a Best of Booksy Award, which are awards that are automatically generated for everyone in the broader Booksy community. And that is true in 4 or 5 different Booksy countries, including the US. And then you can find all of our upcoming webinar education on that link as well. And while Taz is getting ready to pull that up, I do want to mention one quick thing that I didn't say earlier, which was we briefly touched on trade shows and why trade shows are so important in terms of our ambassador connection. So first of all, we love to get to see any Booksy provider at any trade show. Oh my God, come see us. You will make our day. We will take photos. We'll probably take a boomerang of you. We'll probably say, hey, let us give you some swag? Let us, whatever. We would absolutely love to do that. And so just as a quick FYI, you can find our most immediate upcoming trade shows on that education link as well. And anyone watching this after the fact, if you go into the copy on YouTube, you will find these links also. But our next upcoming events, we will be at the Data Driven Summit, which is May 15 in Nashville. And it's for, I believe, the top 200 salons in the country. So that's pretty cool. We're very excited to be there. And we will also be at Premier Orlando, June 4th through 6th in Orlando, as you might guess. We'll be at other upcoming events as well. And we are updating our Booksy education page as we have those. And the reason that we list those there is that whenever possible, we like to be able to provide continuing education opportunities at those events. So definitely stop by the Booksy booth at any upcoming event that you're at, come find us, and if nothing else, find out what education we have there. So just putting that out there. And I've seen that a couple people have dropped other upcoming events in the chat. I may not be able to reference all of those, but some of you we will be reaching out to about those. So, okay, Taz, let's pull up those videos and show them some of this awesome content that we have.
Wonderful. I actually have a treat for everybody here today. So Julia talked through, socials, blogs, webinars, how we use ambassadors, where we showcase them, what platforms we are prevalent on. But then we get to do something really fun, like the video I'm about to pull up, where we are able to showcase our ambassadors in a very fun, animated, sort of little ad, if you will. That's really, really fun for us to create and also show. So we have a really talented team behind us as well who puts these together. And usually with our content, I'm sure you guys have seen everything that has been Booksy so far for this year has been Get Discovered. So this has not been shared externally just yet. Today is the first time that we are sharing this, and you guys are the first to see it. So please do enjoy our first animated graphic for our Get Discovered campaign. Okay, so that was really, really fun. The objective of Get Discovered and everything we do right now in terms of, pushing content out there like this, it is about you and your brand and showcasing your style as a unique individual. And that's really, really what we're trying to do. As everybody on our platform has their own unique identities, their own flair, how they represent themselves. And that's something that we're really, really proud of. So this is the objective of, partnering up with our ambassadors and showcasing their unique talents and styles and niches on how they attract the right clients in their chair so that they are able to do the things that they love, right? So that's really, really one of the most exciting videos that we have that is to be released very, very soon. So you guys got first dibs on that. And then next up, sorry about that. So now we get to the nitty-gritty of who we are looking for. So as Julia kicked off this call, and as I mentioned as well, this is the broader beauty edition. So we are looking for ambassadors when we say broader beauty, we're looking for massage, makeup, nails, aesthetics, brows and lashes, absolutely anything and everything. We did get a number of applicants in our barber and hairstylist category. And again, this does not mean you cannot apply, but we are looking to fill up our ambassador roster with an equal amount of ambassadors for our broader beauty and make sure that we are represented in those categories as well. So that's where we find ourselves today. So we are looking for ambassadors in those categories, but not limited to. So again, if you're a barber and a hairstylist and you are on this call, please do not be deterred. You can still apply. So who are you? You have presence. So you have an established and engaged networks, and that's social presence. So strong online and offline. You're passionate about mentorship and education. So you foster strong relationships with other service providers through education. You've seen in a few slides previously, and what we've talked about, education is key for us. It's always giving back. So that's really where we shine as well and where we place a lot of focus on. So giving back to the community and uplifting beauty providers is important to you. If that is you, then I'll just hang on till the next slide and I'll tell you how to apply. And if you are a content creator, of course, so content is the most engaging way that we are able to get our message and our brand out. So if you are passionate about Booksy and you are skilled at creating engaging content, it's not too late to learn. So to promote Booksy with your personal brand, then this is who we are looking for. On the next slide, this is who we were looking for, and this is who we found. So I'd love to showcase Nicole's page as well as Alona's page. Nicole's page, Flawless Beauty by Nicole, and Alona's page, Lonna Nailed It. We will be dropping their social media handles in the chat as well for you to follow. But a couple of things, I just wanted us to pause on this slide really quickly. A couple of things that really, really stood out to me, just looking at their pages. And again, I look at their pages all the time because we work so closely together. But, a few things that really stand out is how when you open up their page, you can immediately tell what they do, who they're affiliated with. Their bios are so explicit in terms of what brands they are associated with, their websites, and it's so important as to how you can find them, how you can book with them. Alona as well, what other brand ambassador what other brand she is for. She has a link tree up in there. So immediately when you take a look at their pages, you know exactly what they are, exactly who they are, exactly what sort of niche that they follow, etc. And then when you scroll further down their timeline, there is a plethora of creative content, and it ranges across the board, but it's all in, it's so segmented and so cohesive that it's beautifully spread out, and it creates this beautiful palette that they've created for themselves. So a few things before I ask you guys for advice on your own social media profiles. There's two videos that I hope you guys don't mind that I'm going to play. And from Nicole. Nicole created a cute little video to let us know about the self-made beauty entrepreneur and the fact that she'll be here today. So I want to play that. It was really, really catchy, really caught my attention. And it seems like you had a lot of fun making this, Nicole. So I'm going to play the video, if you don't mind. Oh, sorry. Let me go back here.
I've been grinding all day and all night. Hall of Fame on my mind. Trying to be the greatest of all time. You say it's all God. That's all. I've been grinding all day and all night. Hall of Fame. I've been.
That looked like a lot of fun. Nicole.
It totally was. And I really love the shirt. So that's what gave me the energy to make the post. I'm like, this is perfect.
The transition was really nice too. From like
Yeah.
you holding the shirt to like putting it on. I like that. That was my favorite part. And I love the song too.
I love it. It's always, always, always imperative to have fun. And I could tell that immediately when I saw the video. And then Alona, I pulled up one from yours, which was super funny. So I'm going to play it as well.
Hi, Charlie. Oh, hi, Chucky Sue. Oh, she's so cute. Such a cute hamster. Yeah, I know. Oh, say hi to Rocco, Elmo. Hello, Rocco. Hi, Sue. Hi, Charlie.
We all know a Rocco, right?
Yeah.
I'm in love with those Elmo sounds, and I have kids, so my youngest likes to watch Sesame Street. And Elmo and Rocco's beef, listen, reminds me of like how we feel frustrated in the beauty community sometimes when like people cancel last minute and all those different things. That's where it came from.
Yeah, we all know a Rocco. So while I have your profiles up here, do you have, what are some pieces of advice that you have for the audience here joining us today, or even for audience that will be able to watch us at a later stage, just from a social perspective, or just any advice in terms of becoming an ambassador themselves?
I would say, as far as becoming an ambassador?
Yeah, or any advice on their social profiles as well.
Oh, social, I'd say look at other content that you relate to, you know, not even when it comes to just reels, even just like your posts down to like photos, lighting for nails, like hand placement, all those different things, and kind of try to emulate those and think about those things when you are creating content, because that's, like I said, what people like to see, down to like how I said earlier, there's like 5 seconds to really like pull people in. And then as far as, I'm going to add this just because as far as like being an ambassador, like so easy, like you don't just give it a shot. You know what could it hurt to just ask? You know, just try. So.
I agree with what Alana said, like finding other profiles that make you inspired to create content. For me personally, I love to follow content that has like wordplay. So if it's like the motivational reels, that really talks to me and gets me going, get me pumped up. Also like planning for your social media. So there's a lot of great websites that you can look up to help you do content planning. So you can pick one subject, and that can be the focus of it for the day, whether it's to share, I don't know, your favorite color for that day, or your favorite service, or a client tip of the day. Kind of start with that, write down those tips for yourself. Social media is so much better for me to have structure. I have to have some structure.
Yeah.
Because then I feel more grounded and at peace. So that's my
Do you write notes?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. My notes on my phone look crazy.
Yeah. I love writing notes and just writing out my goal for like the month, the week, quarterly, or yearly, just to see how much effort I put in, even if I don't reach it within that amount of time. And then, you know, as far as an ambassador, just continue to share what you know with the rest of the world. So I believe that your gift is supposed to reach the world. And Booksy has obviously been one of the best gifts I've received, as being a influencer and Booksy ambassador. So, and businesswoman.
Wonderful.
That was beautiful. So I know that we are nearly at the end of time, but we have one last great question that I'd love just a quick, like, top answer from each of you before we do our wrap up. Carrie is wondering, do you have any tips for content planning? Maybe tips about hashtags or captions, or is there an app that you always use when you're doing your content planning?
I use Canva. Hold on, I have it right here. Tell you right quick. I use Canva and sometimes Facetune for like lighting. Sometimes if I don't have it like together, or to make my like story post, so everything kind of looks cohesive. And then Studio to tag everything apparently, because apparently thievery is a thing when it comes to like, you know, your stuff on Instagram. And then hashtags, I do the same thing. Like I said, I'll go to like the explore page and kind of find something that's similar to what I'm getting ready to post and see which hashtags did good. You know, if somebody has like 10K like likes or whatever to what I'm getting ready to post, if it's like my nails are pink and their nails are pink, then I'll kind of take some, maybe not all of them, but I'll take some that I think might do well.
Brilliant.
That's so good. And I honestly love your content on your page, Lonna, because it's all nails, and I just get inspired to want to go get my nails done. And if I'm sitting to get my nails done, I can just go to your profile and see what I want. It's like a store.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Some apps I have to share. Adding on Canva, of course, just like Alana mentioned. Also, Facetune 2. And I have Facetune Video. Mojo is really awesome for like ad work. Mojo. Yeah. Photo Room. And with TikTok, since I'm on TikTok, just scrolling sometimes, I will record my video on TikTok, and then I would download TikSaver to remove the logo from TikTok and then upload it to IG Reels.
Yes, so Instagram doesn't like that.
Yeah, I know. So I don't have to, you know, pick and choose between the two, because for me, TikTok is easier to use, or it's just more detailed. So yeah, those are my few favorites.
That is brilliant. I definitely took my notes as well, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So Taz, I know we've promised everyone a special link, and I have that ready to go. So before I sign us off, do you have any final notes that you'd like to let everyone know just about our program and what you'd like them to take away?
I do. So we are going to receive submissions in a little bit of a different way this time. And without going too much in depth, we really need to get an idea of who you are, how well you verse in front of the camera. And this will kind of make also decision making a little easier, because we'll be able to get a little glimpse into your life, who you are. So the next steps in applying for our ambassador program will be, like Julia said, we have a little magic link dropping into the chat. And what we're going to require is you to create a small little piece of content for us as to how you would promote the Booksy app or the Booksy brand or any feature that you favor in the Booksy app. There is an intake form to tell us a little bit about yourself and your social handles so that we can follow you. And then as well to drop that video link in the intake form so that we can reference it. But please also do tag us if you are posting that. And then once we do receive that, we will go to a selection, onboarding, and introduction stage if you do make it through successfully, making sure that you are introduced to everybody on the team, that you know exactly what you need to know about the ambassador program, and the proper introductions are done accordingly. So today, I did have a sample video that I wanted to show you guys to give you some inspiration and some guidance if you do plan on creating that content for us that will serve as your application. Very simple video.
We feeling up tonight, doing all right. We don't really care what happens tomorrow. Up tonight, feeling okay. We don't want to waste another day. If you feel inside that happiness vibe, yeah, we feeling up. Yeah, I'm looking.
See how she put her referral link at the end?
Yes.
So she did really, really great in creating this video as her first piece of content. So this was more so just as inspiration and guidelines for anybody in the chat who would like to apply. Again, everybody has their own creative flair on how to create their piece of content. It does not have to be a lengthy piece of content. It's just so that we can get a feel for what we are looking for, and also if you are able to promote our product and brand authentically and organically, and if you do make the fit. So are there any last questions in the chat that we could answer, Julia, before we?
No, at the moment we are all cut off. I just want to let you guys know we've had so many thanks. Carrie says thanks, great tips. Ebony says dropping gems today. LaShawn, several people earlier did as well, but LaShawn just recently said hello from your natural image. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you so much, Lonna and Nicole, for gracing us with your wisdom and your expertise. Thank you, Taz, for taking us through the behemoth that is our U.S. Ambassador Program and really giving us this window into how it works and how we can partner together so that Booksy and our ambassadors are all lifting together. So, Lonna, Nicole, any final words from either of you before we sign off?
Sign up with Booksy. Go ahead and do it. Create that content. And don't forget to have fun.
What she said.
Have fun, guys. Absolutely. Please do tag us. We want to see what you're putting out there.
Love that. Couldn't agree more. If you have not joined Booksy yet, you're looking for a link, I've just dropped one in the chat. I've also dropped the link for that form that we referenced, the Booksy US Ambassador application form. If you go to the Booksy Ambassador page on our website, you can find it there as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Just so you know, all of these links will still be available for you after the webinar is done. And later this week, you'll be able to find this webinar as well as several of our amazing past US webinars on our YouTube page. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today for Ambassador Bootcamp Broader Beauty Edition. We hope this was worth your time. Thank you to our experts, and we hope to see you at our next Booksy event and possibly on the Ambassador stage next time around. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, guys.